love the channel and find it useful in becoming a happy retiree. Subscribe today. Let's start with Chris in Stelma. Chris, good morning. Welcome to the show. What's going on? How can we help?
Hey, Wes. How are you today?
Good, man.
Hey, listen, I love Money Matters, and you always provide such a thorough analysis, so I appreciate it, Wes.
Well, I'm looking way into the future, so it's so far into the future that, I don't know if I won't even be around by the time these predictions come true. So
there you go.
I mean, we're having fun. So what's going on? How can I help you?
Well, hey, listen, I know you probably get this question all the time, but I was having a chat with a buddy of mine the other day, and he was telling me that he invested in Bitcoin about a year ago. I think it was at $90, and he said now it's at like $350. And he just keeps urging me. He says, you got to invest in this. He's getting outrageous returns on his money. And I just want to know what your thoughts were on cryptocurrencies and Bitcoins and these online currencies. I'm kind of a risk-averse person. I'm not a real high-risk person, but it seems like it doesn't have any sort of ceiling.
Well, but it does have it, and to some respect, it doesn't have a floor either, or the floor can be zero too. So remember that. And I think that's really what the questions I'm getting. I always think of it when I get a call about Bitcoin, and they've been with increasing frequency lately, Chris, is that I'm thinking, are people really looking at this as an actual alternative currency? So I'm thinking, oh, well, hey, Wes, do I just start to stash some Bitcoin because it's going to be a currency, and am I just going to use it? Is it a safer, better currency? Right. Or really, I think what you're calling about, that's probably makes more sense, or a broader application, really it's about investing in it, right? It's like, well, if I could buy this thing at $2,000 or 2,000 parts per Bitcoin, let's call it, and it goes to 3, then it can be a great investment. But if you really think about what Bitcoin is doing, so it's this BitChain cryptography, it's a technology that can apply to there's broad application for the technology. It's not just the currency. So you could, I was talking to our producer Ryan Ely about Bitcoin. It could be to try to keep anything safe, like the title of your house over the course of a decade. How do you record titling, let's say? So it's really a technology that has now there's an offshoot or byproduct of that technology, which is a safer currency with lower transaction fees. Now, what is interesting to me, as I've studied this and thought a lot about it, is that do we need another currency, right? If you think about it, we've got the U.S. dollar, we've got the yuan, we've got the euro, we've got all these other currencies already. I don't know if we need another currency, particularly if it's really not going to live up to its promise of cheaper, safer, because we know that it's already gotten hacked. We know that there are security issues, even though in the beginning Bitcoin was propagated to not ever have any sort of security issues. We know that's not true. We know that the transaction costs, because security issues are rising, that's not going to be free either. So I really just think that if you really take a step back and think, well, do we need another currency? Is it really the answer to not having any sort of security issues, which we know, of course, there are with any sort of currency? Is it really the answer in the future? And I just don't think it is. Sure, could the price, like any penny stock, go from $1 to $5, and you could quintuple your money? Maybe. But I also look at our chart and I see that it was at 3,000 a couple weeks ago, and it dropped to under 2,500. That's a 17% correction in the course of a couple days. So you might as well be, if you really, your question is, hey, Wes, is this a good thing to invest in because I could double, triple, quadruple my money? I think the answer is no, because there are plenty of other companies out there or stocks that could do the same thing that really maybe do have some promise. So I don't want to be one of these financial guys that poo-poos every new idea. I'm not in that camp. I think that there maybe eventually the technology does find a way to be a more secure version of a currency here. But from an investment standpoint, I really think that there's too many variables now, and there's plenty of other alternatives if you want to get speculative with your money to invest in. For somebody like you, Chris, and you mentioned, hey, I'm pretty conservative, I don't like to take a lot of risks, then really it's not yeah, you could see a big jump in the price, and you could have made a bunch of money, but you could
I
see
could
this
wake up and all my money could be gone. The
big
next
time,
day, too.
big time.
Yeah.
You could lose 50% of this thing in the course of a couple days. So anyway, my point here from an investment standpoint, Chris, and thank you for your call, by the way. Thanks for listening to the show. Just be really careful. It's not my speculative investment of choice at all. Hi, I'm Wes Moss, and thanks for taking a minute to hear about what's so different about my new book, You Can Retire Sooner Than You Think. So unlike other retirement books, this book will give you a step-by-step guide, whether you're in your 20s or 30s or 40s or 50s, to learn from what these successful and happy retirees did to get there. I hope you enjoy the book, but more importantly, I know that it'll help you retire sooner than you think.